Wow. All you Tua bandwagon people that want to get off the bandwagon of Tua Tango Vailoa, you guys can all get the heck out. Because Tua Tango Vailoa is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. He is going to be a pro. He is going to win multiple Super Bowls, about 3 or 4 Super Bowls. He's going to win 2 MVPs. He's going to win throwing titles. He is incredibly talented. He has the quickest release of the NFL guys. He has the best pocket awareness. His arm strength is definitely good enough to be very awesome. And he always takes chances down the field. He can throw on the run either way. He is as perfect of a prospect as you're going to find. Now, Trevor Lawrence could be a guy that ends up being, an Aaron Rodgers, a guy that is very talented. But I'm always going to take Tua over Lawrence because Tua Tagovailoa, his personality is absolutely perfect for the competitive nature of football. He is a guy that last night, as the game was over, you can watch this clip of Tua Tagovailoa leaving the football field. And there was Damian Harris, who's the oldest guy on the team, a senior that's 2 years older than Tua. And what Damian Harris was doing, he was hugging Tagovailoa. He was hugging Tua. And Tua had his towel over his face. And Tagovailoa was walking out of the stadium, but the senior class, this guy had won over the team from Jalen Hurts. He wins the team. The minute he comes in the building, he wins the team. Last year was the most difficult circumstance. I know you could say Lawrence, Lawrence played better than Tua yesterday, yes, but Lawrence also was throwing up 50-50 balls, and the receivers, Justin Ross, were making unbelievable plays. Also, Clemson's defense was a million times better than Alabama. If those two teams were going to play again, Clemson would win about 80 times. I mean, the defensive line of Manny Wilkins and the studs all over Clemson's defense and Brett Venables. When it's Brett Venables versus freaking Tosh Lapoy, Clemson has the best coaching staff in the country, the best defensive coordinator. Alabama has Mike Locksley and Tosh freaking Lapoy. So, bottom line is Clemson's one of the greatest college teams of all time. If they could have ran the ball down by the goal line, he would have done better. He threw for 2 touchdowns, 295 in that football game, and his defense was atrocious. Couldn't get off the field the entire game, let up 44 points. He did have the pick 6, which was a bad throw. He also got confused on another play, so he did have 2 turnovers in the game. But the bottom line is Tua was pretty good last night, but he's been perfect his whole collegiate career. He's only lost 1 game that he started in. He's still one of the greatest college quarterbacks to ever play, and he will probably be the greatest NFL quarterback to play and the greatest college. He is going to win the national title in New Orleans next year. That's what I'm saying. And then he's going to win about 3 or 4 Super Bowls and be one of the greatest players to ever play in the NFL. And I'm staying on that bandwagon, Drew Lock and all these other people that I say, Davis Webb, I keep it real with y'all about them. New York Giants, rooting for the Cowboys guy, who are you a fan of, whatever. There's a couple certainties that I'm going to keep on this channel that I'm going to stay loyal to. And Tua Tagovailoa is a guy that I will stay loyal to. I believe in his ability. I believe in the person of Tua. I believe in his competitive nature. Last night when he left the field, the most brilliant thing he did, yesterday was not the throws to Jerry Jeudy that were unbelievable when he was rolling to his left, and it's not the way that he competed on a bum ankle the entire time. But Tua, as he was leaving that field last night, he was leaving. I want you guys to Google, to YouTube this video. Tua Tagovailoa leaves the field after the national championship. He left the field with his Alabama teammates, but before he got in the locker room, the confetti was falling down. It was Clemson colors. It wasn't Alabama like last year when that was the greatest performance anyone's ever had in the history of sports, playing the Georgia defense who had Roquan Smith, who had Lorenzo Carter, who had DeAndre Baker, who had Kirby Smart and Mel Tucker. what he did last year in the national championship game was a million times more impressive than what Trevor Lawrence did to this overrated Alabama's defense. This is not the same defense that Nick Saban's accustomed to having. And the bottom line is Georgia was so much better than Alabama's defense. So what Trevor Lawrence did last night to Tua last year is not even applicably close. But Lawrence did play great last night, and he is going to be a wonderful quarterback in the NFL. He's a big-time talent. He's a prodigy. He's a perfect quarterback prospect as well. He'll also probably be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's a big-time player, yes. But Tua Tagovailoa has the it factor. He has the quick release. He has the skills. But getting back to my story of Tua leaving that field last night. Tua, as the confetti was falling on Clemson, before he went into the tunnel, he stopped. He stopped, and he looked back like this. And he did this. He looked back on that confetti because he mentally was taking in the feeling of losing that national championship. The confetti falling down and it being the other opponent and not his team. And when he was asked in the locker room, Tua, you went 14 wins. You're a Heisman Trophy finalist. One of the greatest seasons ever. You won 14 out of your 15 games, and you played against one of the greatest defenses and one of the greatest college coaches and one of the greatest programs ever, and you happen to lose. Is this season successful? 99% of people would have said, yeah, it's successful. Tua Tagovailoa said 5 words. Not good enough. Good, but not good enough. Maybe 3 or 4 words. How about these 3 words that he said? Not good enough. That just shows you a guy that has the heart of a lion, a tiger, the mentality that he's going to be great. So for all these Giants fans, I don't want Tua Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa is a bust. I applaud you because I want to be the guy. I don't love everybody on the Tua bandwagon. Eventually, everybody will be on board with me. Everybody will come with me to the Tua Tagovailoa bandwagon, the bandwagon of Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, the Davis Webb bandwagon has one person other than Matt Webb, the head coach of Prosper, Texas. The Davis Webb and Luis Perez bandwagon, I could drive that bus. It has no storage units. But Tua Tagovailoa, I'll be going into this game, and everybody rocking with Tua. But now the real ones stay on the bus. The real ones will ride with Tua and will ride to greatness. The real ones will watch Tua thrive in the NFL. The real people will watch Davis Webb win a job this season. And we'll watch Davis Webb become a Nick Folesian, but even a better version of Nick Foles will be a great NFL quarterback. Those who stay will be champions, baby. Tua Tagovailoa forever. Tua to the abyss, baby. All the Tua doubters. See ya. Tua will be the best. See y'all.